All right, Frank, the floor is yours.
I appreciate it. So very excited to be here today with all of you. In the future, I see a lot of people on here, which is exciting. In the future, if you guys can, if you can have your video screens on, that's always welcomed. I love to see your faces. Sometimes I know we can't do it, but just for future. So thank you, Anthony, for giving me an amazing intro and making me sound better than I am. I appreciate that. So a little bit about myself, I'll be glad to share. I have been in the real estate business in some form or fashion for about 21 years. My background is business and very entrepreneurial. I started off in the finance industry and then switched to the building industry. I've had quite a few companies and grown them, and some for long periods of time, some for not so long. And I'm always usually doing a little more than just one thing. I like to invest in property, a lot of experience with that. And I've been with Tom for around 5 years now. And so I do different things for Tom, but very excited to be here. So I just want to not really set some ground rules, but just kind of be open and let all of you know. The coach in me always wants to be here for all of you. So anything I can do to help any of you, please don't hesitate to ask. So if there's anything that I can help with or any light I can shed on anything that you're dealing with, that's what I'm here for. You know, most of the time it'll be me coming on. I'll bring some things that we're going to talk about, but please feel free to interact. I love group interaction. If you have questions, Anthony, I don't know if this is something that you typically do or what you've been doing, but if they want to put it in the chat and then either you or I can look at it, whatever works. I don't know what you typically do, but questions are more than welcome. And because I don't know the level of everybody on here, so I might do something or talk about something that might be a little more basic, or it might be a little more advanced. But if, you know, either way, please feel free to ask away. So just wanted to throw that out there.
So Frank,
today,
Frank,
yeah, please.
Yeah, if there's any of our agents want to contact you on a personal level and ask some individual questions, do you mind that, or do I have to have to go through Anthony to get to you?
Yeah, no, it's okay. If you want to email me, you can go through Anthony, or you're more than welcome to send me an email. It's fine. And I just always say, just give me a little bit of time to get back to you. Sometimes it takes 24 hours. Usually I'm pretty fast. I have an assistant. She monitors my email full time. I travel a lot for events. And like I said, I'm doing other things. So just as long as you're patient with me getting you an answer back, but it usually is going to be pretty quick, depending on the level of volume. Excuse me.
24 hours turnaround time is good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, and Anthony, you're more than welcome to share my Coach Frank Harita at Gmail email with everybody if they want it. So yeah, so just know that anytime you have a question or you have something you want to talk about, please feel free to just speak up. It's not a problem. So yeah, all right. Before we begin today, any questions? I don't want to spend a lot of time on myself because I want to make sure I focus on all of you. So hopefully that's enough about my bio, but if you want to know more, I'll be glad to share. Any questions before we begin today? I wanted to talk a little bit. I know they wanted me to talk about social media, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that and kind of do a 30,000 foot view. And then if anybody has any more specific questions, I'll be glad to go over that with you as well. Anything though to start that you have a question on or that you'd like me to cover? Anything in particular?
Yeah, Frank, what we're going to do is I'm going to have the agents ask through chat. And like,
Perfect.
you know, right before like you end, I'll just shoot you like a fire rapid questionnaire so it doesn't interrupt your flow. But
Cool.
during the last 2 weeks, we first and foremost, we have a wonderful group of agents at CBA George. We're very proud. We've been in the area for more than, correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, almost 3 decades servicing the community. And we're a large name. So a lot of our agents, there's an influx of newer agents, older agents, and also intermediate agents, right? But the one common denominator is our social media. We need that to shine. That's basically our resume to our clientele. And that's what we've been talking about for the past 3 weeks. So, if for no further ado, we'll give the torch to you and you can kind of reiterate with that.
Great. So I would agree, social media, would everybody here agree that social media is a very powerful tool? And there's really probably nothing that would reach as many people as social media can. I am a big fan of prospecting. I come from prospecting. I teach prospecting boot camp, or used to teach prospecting boot camp for Tom. So one of the things that I would say is, you know, as much as I love prospecting, which everybody should do anyway, every day, you can't beat the reach of social media. But I was just at Elite Retreat, and one of the things that my old coach says and was saying, which is Jason Pantana. Is anybody here familiar with Jason Pantana? Okay. So Jason Pantana, you'll catch him on Tom's YouTube channel. He also has a good social presence. But one of the things that we talked about was how when you do social right now, 1/3 of your audience will be gone. Why is that? The reason is because a lot of social media and content on social is AI, artificial intelligence. So how many of you have heard of like ChatGPT? Anybody heard of ChatGPT? Okay, so pretty amazing stuff, right? Well, there's other programs like it, and it's just getting better and better and better. And so the reason why we say that is because more and more content will be AI-derived content. So that's a smaller piece of your audience to get in front of. So how are we going to combat that? Well, I think one of the things that's really important is content. So what kind of content is anybody here doing social and video on a regular basis? Anthony? All right. Well, I can only see about 15 of you. So everybody else, I'm not sure if they're raising their hand or not. But of the people that I see, Anthony was really the only one that raised his hand. So what are some things, you know, that we can do that will help us get in front of people that are easy to do? So we'll just start at like the base level. One of the things that you could do to make sure that you're consistently putting out content would be market updates, right? So if I'm on social and I'm a little hesitant to get on social, I don't know what to talk about, or I'm like, what could I talk about? Market updates are a great way to put information out there that people are looking for if you're not sure what to do. My wife and I have a YouTube channel, and if anybody wants to get ideas on video, I tell you to go to anybody in the ecosystem or anybody else you see on social and see what videos get a lot of play. But if you go to our YouTube channel, my last name's Harita. So if you go to the Harita team in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, you'll see, I don't know, 130 videos roughly. But when you go to our channel, what always gets the most views on video is neighborhood tours and market updates. And we do a lot of other videos. But the reason why is because that's what people want to know about. If they're moving to our area, they want to know, hey, they look up the neighborhood, right? YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. Does everybody know that? Okay, so Google's #1, YouTube's #2, Google owns YouTube. So if you're gonna put video out, YouTube would be one of those places. Now, we're talking social, and we're gonna tie this in, but the nice thing about YouTube is it's evergreen, meaning it's there for forever as long as YouTube's around. So YouTube also will help your search results on Google. But what we could do if you're doing video, and video on YouTube is horizontal video, okay? So you have two different types of video. You have horizontal and you have vertical, okay? Vertical video would be an Instagram reel, right? Or it would be a YouTube short, or it would be TikTok, right? So those are some examples of short form video. If you did a horizontal video, then that would be your YouTube or a post on social. And here's the thing. Does anybody know the lifespan of a post on social? You can put it in the chat if you want. If you know the lifespan of a typical post on social media. It's 24 hours. So if you make a post on social, it's good for about 24 hours. And then even that, if it's not video, most likely won't get seen by very many people. because the algorithms on the channels change. And the one thing they only want to see and that they all have in common is, guess what? Video. So how do we get over this dilemma of what do we post about? Well, like I said, you can look at other people's channels. You can focus on content. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. I would recommend putting content out for free. So are you producing free content for people? Are you putting things out there where they can learn and educate and engage? Are you having calls to action in your social posts? A lot of what we recommend is if you're doing a social post, ask questions in the post. You'll notice if you look at like a lot of Instagram videos, does anybody go through Instagram Reels and watch video and check it out every once in a while? I'm guessing a lot of us, maybe some of us. So what you'll see is this is exactly how people are. They have their phone and they're like, it's that fast because they just wait till something clicks with them and then they sit. And that's what you want. You want people to stop and sit and watch your content, but it's got to be catchy. So you got to have something that people want to know. So what is the point? If I see one of your posts and I like it, where is it then going to take me? If I see Anthony's post and I'm like, wow, I like this guy. He's sharp. I like what he's saying. He looks like he's got it all together. Okay, great. If I like his post, what does he want me to do next? Where am I going to go once I watch that post? Is it to my YouTube channel? Is it to my website? Is it to the next post? And my Instagram channel? Where do I want him to go? So you have to think about that ahead of time. Now, one of the things that's basic, but I think it's worth mentioning is on social media, what you want is consistency, okay? Because brand is really important, okay? Maria, it's a great question. I'm going to answer it here in a second. So one of the things that I would say is, how many of you know what a link tree is? Anthony, okay, some of you. Frank the Lone Guy, I like it. All right. So a link tree is a link where you can have all your social profiles with one link, okay? So some of you should look into that. The other thing that I would suggest is the same picture on all social platforms, the same font, the same colors, right? And have the same name. Because if I like you or I know you and I see you somewhere else and I want to go look up your Instagram channel, am I going to know it's you or am I going to have to, because I don't know about you guys, but when I pull up my phone, I am getting older. So I'm 46. My eyesight's not as good as it used to be. So when I pull someone up on Instagram, I'm like, looks like him, but I can't tell. And so then I got to click on 5 people to see which one it really is. And so, but once I find you, can I go to Facebook and find the same person, and TikTok and find the same person, and LinkedIn and find the same person? And so that brand awareness, right? Every time somebody sees you or finds you, we want the same thing to come across. Maria, you asked a great question, so let me answer it. Maria's question is, how many hours should you spend on social media? And I would say it doesn't necessarily have to be hours. What I would say, and this kind of gets a little off topic, but it relates, which is how many of you have a specific schedule that you don't deviate from every day? Having a schedule and a routine, good. I'd love to see a couple hands up. Everybody should have a schedule every single day that you don't deviate from. And so part of that schedule should be working on your business and in your business, right? So what time of day do we want to do this? Well, the 2 best times to prospect, and when I say prospect, just so we're clear for the future, I don't mean cold calling. It can be cold calling, but it can also be calling my database, texting some people that I know. It could be any of that, right? Emails. But prospecting time should be 9 to 11 in the morning or 4 to 6 in the afternoon. Those are the 2 best times to prospect any day. All right. The afternoon time is where you would want to spend some time on social. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean how many hours, but let's talk about ways you could put your social content to good use. So what's the best way to do social? I would make the point that batch filming is the best way to do social. So let's say that you said, I'm going to do Instagram Reels, or I'm going to do vertical video would be another way to say it. And if you're going to do vertical video, How would you do it? Well, most of our successful clients, what they do is they sit there and they shoot 2 hours of vertical video in a row. They pick one day and it's called batch shooting. So instead of coming to work every day and saying, oh my gosh, what am I going to post today? They sit down, they write all the titles that they want to batch shoot about, and they shoot it all in one sitting, maybe 2 hours, maybe 4 hours, but they pick one day a month, do it all, have somebody edit it, and now they've got content for the month. That's the most effective way to do it. And it's also less stressful. Trust me, I speak from experience. It's very stressful to come to work and go, oh my gosh, what am I going to shoot today? I don't know what I'm going to talk about. What's the topics? What's going on? It's very stressful. So if you have it all planned out and you do it ahead of time, great. And what I tell my clients is, if you do batch shoot and you come to work the next day and something big happens in real estate, shoot a quick video. And now that's an extra video you have on top of all the other stuff, right? So that's what I would recommend. Here's another tip. If you are going to go the YouTube route, or you do YouTube, one of the things, if you're going to do a market update or you're going to do a neighborhood tour or whatever, you can take a video you put on YouTube and you can cut segments out of it for vertical video. So we don't have any YouTube shorts, but right now what I'm about to start doing is going back through our over 2 years worth of video, and I'm going to have somebody cut pieces of all that video, and we're going to start doing that as vertical video because it's never going to change. I mean, most of the data is all the same, right? So what we've tried to focus on is educating people when they want to learn about anything Myrtle Beach, which is where we're at. So if you want to know about that and you go to our channel, you can learn. You can learn what you have to do about inspections, about neighborhoods, about anything, right? So that would be the big thing I would just let you know about vertical video. Okay. So I hope that helps, Maria. It's not really a set of hours, but whatever it takes you to get that batch shooting done. And then you'll have to decide if you're going to do the editing or give it to somebody else. And I would recommend you give it to somebody else. Find somebody on Fiverr, Upwork, any of those sites, or if you have a VA or if you have someone in the office, Anthony, I'm not sure if they have someone that so I'm not sure what you guys have, but if that's an option, then great. Is that something they have option to or no?
You know, I've been pushing for some of the agents that I've been coaching that are doing high volume. They're just too busy. The fact of the matter is, if you're doing more than 24 transactions per year, you need an assistant or VA. So your VA should be your catalyst in order to, you know, do those things that Frank said, do those avatars for you, create that social media presence for you, and things of that sort. I don't know if I'm stepping your toes in that one.
No,
yeah.
no, I asked for a reason, and I love what you said. I think you're 100%. So Anthony's right. I say anywhere from 20 to 25 deals a year, time to talk assistant. Mm-hmm. So on some level, because look, there's 3 things you'll hear me talk about and echo, and every time I talk to all of you, and it's these 3 things: automate, eliminate, and delegate. You have to get great at these 3 things, or else it will be a struggle for you. And that's any business. So automate, eliminate, or delegate. Sometimes it might be eliminate things that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. Sometimes it's eliminate negative people from my life. We call them energy sucking vampires. If you're negative and I talk to you on a daily basis, you're gone. If you talk negative, don't give someone else real estate in your mind. You got to get them out. Okay. So I hope you guys don't mind my tone, but this is how I coach. So the bottom line is, don't give someone that level of strength and accountability over your own mindset. So delegation, you should only be doing money-making activity. You do it yourself as long as you have to until you get to the point where you can now start having someone else do it. That doesn't mean blow money, and it doesn't mean, you know, don't do anything yourself. But at some point, there's different stages of your career where you start to delegate more and more and more. And that's so that you can delegate the non-money making activity so that you can continue to go out and crush it with things that are going to pay you. That's what it's all about. Okay.
Frank,
yes.
Would it be a good idea to take in a summer mentee? So you become a mentor and then come take some agent as your mentee, and then you work with him and delegate some mundane work to him, and so that you can be free of your time. Would that be a good idea, or you think it's too distracting?
I think you just have to be careful, because if you bring an agent on, that's probably what they want to be. So if you start making them an admin, then they're just going to leave because they don't want to do admin work. So it depends on what you mean. If you're going to bring on an agent and show them the ropes and they're going to learn to do real estate stuff like filling out contracts and those types of things, sure, yeah, no problem there. But
because
go ahead.
Because in our company, some of the less experienced commercial agents, they want to be a commercial agent, right? So they want to have somebody to hold their hands and teach them. So in that case, we set up a mentor-mentee program so that they can ask the more experienced commercial agents to teach them.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I think what you want to do though is you want to lay everything out on paper and say, this is what is expected of you. Here's what's expected of me. Let's do this, right? So as long as you're both in agreement as to what that looks like, I'm totally for it. And that's great. If you want to go someplace or you want to achieve something you've never achieved, you go find somebody who's done it, right? So it's no different in commercial or residential real estate. If you're successful and a younger person or a newer person wants to train under you, great. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you're clear with each other on what the job description is and what's expected of each other. I think that's the most important thing.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Great question. So yeah, so those are just a couple things on the social media. Let's talk a little bit more about some other things. One of the things you could do is we call it representing your city, right? So, meaning like, could you go out and prove to people that you're the mayor of your town, we call it. So when someone comes to our social media channel or anybody's social media channel, the goal is for them to be like, wow, they know everybody. They know everything. They're professionals. If I want to do something, I'm calling them. And so what does that look like? Maybe it's you interviewing the principal of the area. Maybe it's you with the mayor. Maybe it's you with just a police officer, a firefighter, a restaurant. It doesn't matter. And don't make it too much of that because you do have to have real estate content, but it's a good mix where people get the idea that you know everybody in town, and that's not a bad thing. So something to think about, and just to make sure that people see that you know people in town, right? So keep that in mind. So we talked about batch filming, and there's a lot of other things too that you can do. So let's talk about the other things you can do on social. So we talked about the batching. You could create templates, right? You could create templates so that you don't have to recreate every time. You could cut from video you do so you can repurpose, right? So I'm not sure if you're all aware, but if you do a video, that's a video, you can cut that down and strip that down into shorts. You can also take your video and transcribe it and make it a blog. So there's a lot of content that you can produce one time and repurpose it and do it multiple places like other social channels. So one of the things to keep in mind, and that's just really working smart, right? So the other thing you could do, again, is just general posts, but I'm really trying to keep everyone from doing that as much as possible because it's just not going to get the runtime that other stuff will. So a couple of notes. So for TikTok, for example, let's talk TikTok, for example. So TikTok takes a look at your post, and for them, a strong indicator of interest is if a user finishes watching your whole video. So if you put something on TikTok, and the reason why I'm going here is because I want to make sure you're aware that it has to be interesting. It has to catch people's attention. So if people aren't watching your content, they're going to bounce. So one of the things that might be important, and I say this to everybody on everything, who's the avatar of your customer? Do you know? This gets more into the business aspect, but if you sat down and I said, hey, tell me who your ideal client is, what would you say? What's their age, right? What are they looking for? What type of product? Where are they moving from? Do they live where you live? Are they a retiree or are they a millennial? Like, do you understand who your client is? And then what you want to do is, this is the basics of marketing. Does your marketing speak to that customer? Am I getting your content as a retiree, but the marketing speaks millennial and I can't relate? So are you thinking about that and putting that level of thought into what you do? It's really important. So you have to think about that, whether you're posting video or social, and have a good idea about, okay, who's going to be seeing this and what do I want them to think about? I'm going to talk a little bit for a minute or two on more video, and then we can, if you guys have questions, put it in the chat, because I want to make sure I get your questions answered on this. We could talk all day about social and video. So one of the things, if you are going to start doing video, and really this goes to social media too, is thumbnails and captions. It's really important that you grab people's attention. On YouTube, one of the most important things you can do is have a catchy thumbnail. Okay, so you don't want to put it up without a thumbnail, and you don't want to not put thought into your thumbnail. And the key is to make people look at the video and go, I don't know what's coming next. What is he going to say next? So, you know, you'll see some of these crazy headlines with maybe half the screen is doomsday scenario and the other half is whatever, a cow with horn. You get these crazy videos. I'm not talking about bait and switch, but if I say like, housing market crash 2023, right? Or that's what you'll see some people do. And you're like, what's he going to say? It is going to be a crash or it isn't. You don't know. So you're going to click to find out. So it's that kind of a thing. And as we all know, 2023 is going to be an amazing year. Housing crash is not what we're talking about. So make sure we're all clear on that. It's going to be an amazing year. And I know for all of you, because you're great agents, if you're willing to put in the work, you will win, because there's a lot of agents who aren't. So I just want to make sure we're all serious about doing what we got to do this year. All right. Any questions? It's 1:27. I want to make sure I'm thoughtful on time. It went fast. Any questions that anybody has on anything social media or video that I might be able to help you on?
You know, Frank, let me ask a question on behalf of the newer agents who are afraid to probably ask this question.
Yes.
It's all about confidence. And, you know, let's say, for example, I'm a brand new agent. I just joined CB George. I don't have the confidence of any content, really. I don't have any listings. I never represented a buyer before.
Yeah.
Would you suggest it's okay to piggyback off of a agent in our office who has listings and kind of be confident, hey, and create a call to action, right? So maybe your thoughts on that.
It's a great question. And what I would say is there's something that I think is extremely powerful if I'm brand new and starting in the industry. And that is, don't underestimate documenting the journey. If I'm a new agent and I've never done business, you would be surprised at how many people are just like you, or how many people are interested in what you're doing, struggles and successes. They want to watch you every day. They want to know, what are you going through? Hey, I went out to get this listing. Oh my gosh, I didn't get it. I still have no money. I still have to go out and work. I still have to make my calls. I have to get up tomorrow morning, just like I did today, and I still have to go to work. They want to watch that. They want to see how long it takes. They want to see all the things you're doing. I always give this story. There was a young lady who started posting, and one of my clients who was a team was watching her, and she was watching all these posts she had. And over time, she was like, wow, this girl, she's an amazing agent. I mean, she talks about, hey, here's my boots that I'm going to walk lots with. And hey, here's what my signs are going to look like. And I'm going to do this. And here's what I'm doing today. I'm driving through this neighborhood. And she had a video on her dash, and she was driving through. She didn't have her license. She didn't have her license yet. People don't know. She wasn't saying anything like, hey, I am doing this or anything. Her language is right. And she was just excited. And so she was building people that were like, wow. And she had all these followers because people were so excited in what she was posting, and she was documenting the journey and telling people what she was doing. So my whole point is, don't underestimate the power of people that want to know. And here's the thing about social media. When we first started our YouTube channel, no one watched, and we still don't have like gazillions of followers. But what we do have is 600 people that want to actually see our content. That's 600 people that are part of a database that actually call us, that we get business from. It's awesome. All you're trying to do is find the people like you. If you like to play chess, talk about how you like to play chess. If you like to play tennis, you have a bulldog, put it on social. Your bulldog posts and your kids will get way more views than anything you put on about real estate. But people want to know you, and they say, oh, they've got a bulldog. I've got a bulldog. I like this person. I'd buy a house from them. That's how social works. And it's so you can find more people like you and not the people that don't want to talk to you. That's the greatest thing about it. So I don't know if I answered your question, Anthony. I hope I did, but
All right. Thank you so much, Frank. We'll see Frank next week, guys, and we're gonna update you guys with his next topic, and we're gonna do it in advance. So if you guys have any questions, thank you so much, Frank. We'll see you on next week.
Thank you, Frank. Wonderful.
great to see all of you.
Great
Go
time.
crush the week.
Very good. Thank you. See you next
Take
week.
care,
Frank.
guys. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
All right, much appreciated.
Absolutely.
All righty, guys. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Again, guys, social media is definitely your badge of honor from here on out, especially you're starting for real estate. Quick updates, what Frank was talking about. If you don't have any content, the most easiest way to do it is do market updates, right? So get comfortable, get in the mirror and start talking about, hey guys, what's happening in Alhambra today is 24 homes sold. Do whatever that you have to do. So start off with something comfortable, dominate your market, be the mayor, be the host that people can relate to. So for example, Ruben, right? Let's say Ruben's going to do something about Pasadena market updates. Ruben knows everything about Pasadena. He knows so many people. So he's essentially the mayor on his social media when it comes to Pasadena. Expect that from the people that follow you as well. Neighborhood tours. And when you talked about YouTube, create one, create a YouTube channel. So for example, Steven Treboni Real Estate. What Steven's going to do is do home tours, right? He's going to open houses anyway. So he's filming his POV version of the home tour. He's going to upload it. Brand new luxury home in Alhambra. Guess what, guys? Whoever wants to buy in Alhambra is going to click on that. And the call to action is at the end when you're finishing your video. Hi, guys, this is Steven Treboni from Coldwell Banker George. Thank you so much for viewing. If you have any real estate needs, give me a call. So that's your call to action right there, right after the home tour, right? When you're talking about, when Frank mentioned something about why some content doesn't get looked at, the third of it, because it's AI, GPT or whatnot, right? Those don't seem organic. They don't seem it's coming from you. People love being authentic. People love being real, right? It's just what he just mentioned. Let's say you're a brand new agent and you're searching for your first deal. How many people are rooting for you to get that first deal going on, right? They're seeing you doing open houses. They see you writing offers, and finally you get your first deal and people are clapping for you, right? So do things that are organic. I will be giving a class again on, I'll check with Ruben. We'll send a email out. We're just going to do a social media workshop for those who just feel comfortable showing me your social media in person and saying, hey, you know what, Anthony, what can I do to boost my content? What can I do for creative content? It has to be organic, guys. It can't be faked. It can't be copy and paste. It has to be you. And that's what we're here to do to grow you guys, right? So very exciting stuff. Next week, we're going to dive more into social media, but more into productivity, right? Doing those 2-hour power hours that Frank talked about, 9 to 11, 4 to 6, prime time. That's when people are engaging with you, right? And who's your audience? When you talked about creating avatar, who is your ideal audience, right? Who is your ideal client? So my ideal client might be investors, flippers, developers, right? It might be anyone from the age of 35 to 50. Those are the people I generally deal with, right? And my audience and my sphere is everywhere. So it might be different from you guys. And that's why we want to discuss that in person. So I'm going to toss it over to Ruben for office updates and affiliate introductions. Thank you, guys. That was amazing, amazing training. And we're going to have some more next week. Go ahead, Ruben, the floor is yours.
Thank you. A couple of things before we go forward. I want to reiterate that just hit home too. One is eliminate your negativity around you. It's very important because if you don't do that, you're going to just get down with all the news that's out there. So that I think is very important. Removing the negativity and those who are negative in your surrounding. And also the daily schedule, being consistent. So, wake up, do whatever you do, work out, make your coffee, schedule the times that you're going to do prospecting, and then work on your files or on your social media, but have a schedule and be consistent with that. That also I agree with 100%. And then lastly, overcome your fear in terms of social media. I think that has a lot to do with a lot of the newer agents. And just do it, and you'll get little by little, you get more natural with it and it'll smooth into it, but overcome that fear. And I think your business will start flowing a little bit easier and stuff. So we're gonna move on to our regular meeting. First and foremost, I want to congratulate or send a birthday wishes to certain in upcoming birthdays. Anna Losada, Joseph Chen, Sunshine Prada, Ruben Galvan, and Christina Garcia. Happy birthday to you guys. I hope you guys have a great week, okay? Couple reminders for the week. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we're going to be having a lunch and learn, and that's going to be hosted by Alba Moy and Yolanda Arenas. Yolanda's here with us today. Thank you for coming. That's going to be tomorrow at 1. We usually have it on Wednesdays, but this week we switched it to Tuesday, so don't get confused. And the reason why is because on Wednesday, we're going to be having a groundbreaking at 10:30 for Premier Plaza. Joseph Chow, they have a huge project. I believe it's one of the largest projects in all of San Gabriel history. That's going to be at 10:30 on site on the 700 or 800th block of South San Gabriel. The entrance is going to be on Gladys, okay? So that's Wednesday at 10:30. And then Friday, we have our training, normal training at 10 o'clock. And then do not forget our commercial classes are going to be starting not this week, but the following week. And it'll be every Thursday at 10 a.m. We do have a lot of agents already signed up for the classes. But if you have not and you're still interested in doing commercial, please email me and I will send that information over to corporate, and then corporate will send out the registration with the links to every individual. The deadline is this coming Friday at 10 on the 10th. I believe it's the 10th, or this coming Friday, end of day is the last day to schedule to register for these classes. Okay, so don't forget. Now, for all the agents that have already sent me their email with their interest for the commercial classes, I have concluded designating every agent as a commercial agent, but you have to ensure that you have all the tiles on CB Desk for the training. So if you do not have these tiles for commercial access, you have to call CB Desk and ask them to add those tiles to your CB Desk, okay? So do not forget that. That's a very important step, otherwise you're going to be lost. All right, so I think that's it for the updates. I'm going to hand it over to Doug. Doug, are you here today?
Yes, I am. How you guys doing?
All
Hi,
right.
Doug. Good morning.
Any updates or anything for Arcadia?
No, we just got some sales and some listings I'll report later on, but everything, everybody here is in a positive attitude and working hard and doing well. So we have a bunch of closings later on this month. So
All
I'll
right,
make Peter
perfect.
happy. Thank you.
All right, perfect, Doug. So then I'm going to go ahead and do the affiliate intro so we can go through that, and then I'll hand it over to Peter for a quick update, and then we'll go from there. Let's start from the top. John Wax, good morning.
Good morning, co-maker George, and Ruben, Peter, Doug. It's great to see you all. I'm John Wax, 28 years with Snap NHD is who I work for, and I'm here to be your consultant. I've been in the business for such a long time. I've seen many, many transactions, and there are a lot of questions, especially with the FHDS card form and some other things, and I'll help you navigate them. We do have the property tax estimator on our website. We're one of the first companies to have it. In seconds, you can find out what supplemental taxes are, any property in California, and there is a requirement for a lease report. It's a flood zone only report for rentals for residential properties. We do it for commercial as well. And the best thing that you can do is order these at time of listing, because there's no charge unless it closes, and you have all that valuable data, and take it on a listing appointment. It shows that you really want to help them transact their and get the listing and show them that you know all about their property. The best thing that you can do when you're out in public, because we're now more out in public, wear your badges, have cards, appropriate documents, and pens with you, because you never know where the next deal is coming from. I put my information in the chat. It's a great meeting. Thank you for Anthony bringing the speaker, and let's have a great week. Thank you so much.
El otro
All right, let's move on
de
to
colgar.
Frank.
Ahora quiere que todo el mundo haga video.
Hang
¿No
on, let me
somos
mute
actores?
Juan. All right, I just muted Juan. Frank, the floor is yours. Unmute yourself.
Now, is it Frank or Franco? Want to make sure.
No, Frank, you Frank.
Hey
guys.
guys, happy Monday, Ruben, Peter, Anthony. I've seen you, Anthony, a couple times. I love your presence, your everything about you. It's great. I like to be able to connect with you more. Doug, I hear you're from Arcadia, so thank you guys so much for allowing me to be here today. Thank you so much for Frank Herrera being here. I mean, he provided such a lot of great stuff, and the one thing I got from him is it's good about documenting the journey. And even though I have like a camera here and the whole teleprompter stuff, and I'm into gadgets, even that I still get scared about being in front of a camera, because it's almost this whole little dopamine thing that you get from watching other people. And it's what kids are going through today, where they see everybody looking so pretty, and then they start thinking, well, I'm not going to be as good as them. I'm already going to fail. And you're already failing right off the bat, even without taking a chance. So being able to document that journey, even if it's bad. And look, I talk fast, I stutter, I mumble. I still know that I still mess up a lot of times. So if you guys are feeling that, don't worry, we're all in the same gang together. Document that journey. You'll get better and better at it. And then before you're going to realize what you did 2 years ago to now, even though my camera just went off on me, you'll realize that it's going to be a better journey as you go along. Look at that. See, I have a backup camera, one to the other. I was going to say, using something as simple as something you see on Amazon, like one of these little things. Let me see if it's over here. A $30 microphone, put it on your phone. That'll get much better, capture on your mic versus hearing all the cars and everything around. So if you're ever around doing stuff on neighborhoods, do something like that. I'm happy to help everyone and with how to connect with cameras and toys and mics and all that good stuff. Maybe I should do a class if you guys don't mind. So happy to do that. Thank you guys.
All right, Frank, we'll talk about that. Just email me later and we'll talk. I see Jeffrey has a thumbs up. All right, Frank, thumbs up. All right, let's move on to Maria Howard.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's great to see everyone. Guys, great class. I took so many notes. I think the one thing that I walked away with, I like the 3 things he said about automate, eliminate, and delegate. And the delegate portion this year for me is that I got a VA. I actually got a virtual assistant now. I think it's really important to outsource. He says if you're closing more than 24 deals a year, well, I close more than those because I have a large territory. So I realized I needed help and I wasn't keeping up with my workflow. The schedule is pretty tight. I have my regimen of exercising. I have my daily affirmations. I finished my vision board. Everybody, thank you for those who attended the class 2 weeks ago. Great turnout, saw some enthusiasm, a lot of participation. I really do appreciate that. Again, thank you so much for choosing Old Republic with your transactions. The one thing I always do is people remember me as a runner. I'm a crazy runner and I always post about that. So I think I'm going to start implement the journeys on each of my training runs. I think that was a great idea. So again, have an amazing day. Remember, do not close a transaction without a home warranty. It is your loss mitigation tool. You guys have a fantastic day.
All right, Maria, thank you. Let's move on to Alba Moy. Good morning, Alba.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I want to wish everybody a great week, positive thinking, energized, and please join us tomorrow for the Lunch and Learn and bring your appetite and all your questions. Have a great day.
All right, Alba, thank you. All right, Angie Tang, good morning.
Good morning, CBG. Angie Tang, First American Title. Just wanted to let you guys know it's all about perseverance. And so we have to keep pushing forward and make the moves we need to make so that we can plan for the future. And one of the things that we've done to simplify your life is that our prelims are now going to be, they've always been hyperlinked with the plotted easements and CC&Rs if applicable. And now we've also added a hyperlink for taxes. So you can always now just click on the hyperlink and you'll be able to see the estimated taxes. So simplifying as much as possible. I break down the prelim for you one by one and let you know what are the red flags that are going to be needed and the documents that were going to be needed to be able to have a smooth closing. So here to help you grow your business and close it, Angie Tang, First American. Thanks, Ruben.
All right, thank you, Angie. Appreciate
you,
that.
Angie.
Tony, I see you made it.
I made it, yes. I didn't think I would, but I missed the class, but I hear it was really, really good. I caught some tips from everybody who's been talking about it, but I'm glad I'm here. So everybody, good morning, Tony with Villa Property Inspections. We handle single family apartment building and commercial building inspections. Some of the things that I took away from what everybody's been saying is automate and delegate. Yeah, you definitely need some help sometimes. A virtual assistant is not very expensive at all. And they can handle so much stuff that you wouldn't even begin to think of. And it makes your job that much easier and it lets you scale a lot quicker. I did that a few years ago and it has really, really helped our company. Automation as well. If you have a good CRM, it is like gold. I'm currently looking into a CRM for emailing called Active Campaign. So if you get a chance, take a look at that. It can do a lot of stuff to reach out to your clients, which is completely programmed and automated. You set it and then you forget about it. I'm looking forward to doing the class Lunch and Learn next month on commercial inspections. I have a lot of good info and a lot of goodies to bring with me. So wishing everybody a great week.
All right, Tony, thank you. I appreciate that. We do have a commercial meeting with Tony next week. So we're looking forward to that. Now I'm going to hand it over to Yolanda, which is our affiliate that is actually here.
Good morning, everyone. Yolanda Martinez Arenas, WFG National Title Company. So excited for tomorrow's class. Alba asked me to be a guest speaker to fill in on the title end. So I hope both Arcadia and Alhambra can make it. It's going to be a lot of very good information, the latest problems and red flags that we're experiencing in transactions so you can avoid them and have those smooth transactions so that your customers will be so happy with you and get repeat and referral business. I promise you, you're going to take away some very, very valuable information. I hope to see Arcadia and Alhambra tomorrow. Looking forward. Have an awesome and productive day. Thank you.
Very good, Yolanda.
See, little by little, we're getting out of our shell and then hopefully we'll start filling up this meeting room. But I applaud her for coming in. So, you know, we had some other agents here too. So with that, I do want to remind the agents that I am going to do a drawing for today. However, I didn't have my associate with me to do the cutout to pick the names, but I will be picking that next week. Okay, so whoever attended today, you still have a shot of winning a little gift, okay? So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Peter to say some words and then I'll go over new business, as will Doug.
Hi, thank you, Ruben. Good morning, everybody. Hope you have a nice
Morning.
weekend. The weather is becoming warmer now, so it's a good time to go and knock the door, door knocking. And also the economy is doing a lot better than expected. You know that the Fed just raised the interest rate only by 25 percentage point instead of 50 percentage point. And so everything is looking better. And because of that, I think they are predicting a soft landing for our housing market. So that is good news. And also, this is a buyer's market. Nowadays, there are a lot more inventories, and the sellers are more willing to cut their prices. So tell your clients that, hey, if they want to buy a home, this is the best time to do it. Okay. Another thing I want to mention is that lately there are a couple of agents that have difficulty getting commissions in the leasing listing. As you know that for leasing, you don't go through escrow, right? So you don't get the commission at the same time when the escrow closes. So you have to be very careful. Don't give the money to the landlord until, don't get the give the rent and the security deposit to the landlord until you get the commission from the landlord, okay? And we always put a provision in the lease agreement saying that if the landlord doesn't pay the commission, the tenant will have the right to give the rent to the agent in lieu of the but for the commission in lieu of the rent. So that if the landlord later on drag on their feet, they're not giving you the commission, you can go directly to the tenant and ask the tenants to turn the rent to you directly. Okay, so that is a safety feature if you do if you put that in your lease agreement. But if everything fail, then you can, if the amount is less than $10,000, you can always go through the small claims court, which is much cheaper, much faster, and much easier to resolve. And if everything fails, you have to go to Superior Court and ask for the commission. And it's easy to do, but it costs money and time. So best thing is to have a preventive measure to just put everything in the lease, and also you don't turn in the money to the landlord until you get your commission. Okay, so if you have further question about the leasing and how to mitigate the issues, call me and I'll try to help you. Okay, all right, that's my message for today. Back to you, Ruben.
Oh, Peter, just a minute. We have these forms, Peter, for the listing commission, that if the people fill it out and have the tenant and the landlord sign it,
yeah,
and we get a cashier's check paid directly to us, so we don't have to go after the landlord. So if the agents use that
but
form,
that's another way.
get around this problem. Yeah.
That's right. That's even better.
Perfect.
Thank you, Doug.
All right. All right. So now we're going to go over the new business from last week for the Alhambra office, and I'll hand it over to Doug for the Arcadia office. New escrows. Hector Zamora put in a residential property in Los Angeles at $657,000. Christina Garcia also double-ended a residential property in Los Angeles, Highland Park area, $800,000. Congratulations to both of you. Nieta Romo also put in escrow a residential property in Upland for $518,000. Nina Chiu also put in into escrow 4 leases in Monterey Park. And those are those transactions. And then we have 4 listings for last week. 3 of them are from Nina Chiu that are leases in Monterey Park as well. And then Shumei Kam has a land in San Bernardino that she listed for $890,000. So congratulations to all those agents for all the escrows and listings. Great job. Keep up the good work. And I'll hand it over to Doug now for the business in Arcadia.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just a real quick word first. I want to say to the agents, don't concentrate on making sales. Concentrate on helping people. The more people you help, the more sales you're going to make. So go out and find people that have a need to buy or sell a property and help them. The money will follow, okay? Trust me. I've been doing this for over 50 years, and you help people, you'll get paid, okay? And also, number of contacts per day will equal number of sales per year. So you can determine how much money you want to make or how many sales you want to make just by the number of contacts you're making every day, 5 days a week, okay? And the last thing is I want to remind the Arcadia agents, we are having an agent-only meeting at 10:30 this Thursday, and there are door prizes, so I'll see you then. Okay, on our listings, first of all, we have it's in Arcadia on 2nd Avenue, Nick Borelli. It's a joint listing with me and another agent. It's $1.5 million. It's already pre-approved for 4 units, 4 condos. So if you've got a builder, and he's willing to take less, so he's flexible. If you've got a builder that wants to build units all ready to go, contact Nick Borelli or myself, and I'll put you in touch with Nick. Alma Aguilar has got a mobile home out in West Covina for 130. Jerry Lynn has got a commercial lease, $10,000 a month. And on the term of the lease, you're going to get a 5% commission for you. This has got 3 offices, common area, conference room, the furniture may go. So talk to Jerry Lynn on that lease. Lung Chin has got a beautiful property with a lot of interest in it. 5 units in Alhambra on Vine Street, $2,098,000. And Sharon Chow has a lease, commercial lease in Alhambra for $29.75 on Palm. Alma Aguilar has another listing, which I believe sold on Ferguson and Commerce, $649. And Shirley Wang has a lease for $1,550 in Walnut. And I'm sorry, Walnut Avenue, Monrovia. And then on the selling end, Peggy Shao made 2 sales, LA for $635, Rancho Cucamonga for $450. Shirley Guerrera had a listing, a mobile home that sold for $140. And some leases, Jerry Lynn leased a place for $22,531 a month. Yen Wu leased in Arcadia, at least $3,800. Kathy Chu double-ended $1,800 in Temple City, and Sylvia Wu double-ended in Arcadia, $3,500 a month. That's it over here. We're doing really good. We have several good listings that are getting multiple offers. So I expect to have more sales next week.
Great
Wonderful,
job,
guys.
Doug. Great
That's
job. Yeah, so the business is out there. You just got to apply yourself, okay? So next week we'll have another session with Frank Coretta. We will be starting promptly at 10 a.m., okay? So until then, thank you everybody for showing up, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have a
Thank
great
you,
week,
everybody.
everyone.
Have
Reach
a great
out.
week, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.